Romana, if I'm not wrong. I shared your son, right?
No, Rabia.
Others, did you get a chance to try? Did you people get a chance to try writing the algorithms? It's Rabia.
Sorry, sir, I couldn't do it. My child was not well, so I couldn't do it.
Okay. Okay, then we'll do one thing. We'll try solving the writing algorithm for those assignments in today's class. And since on Thursday it's festival day, right? It's Bakra Eid. And then Friday we'll have one day. Saturday, Sunday again it's a holiday. So I thought of starting up with Java today. Okay, so what we'll do is even this week we'll cover a few more algorithms. We'll practice a few algorithms with respect to for loops. Okay, so that is where we need to strengthen this. We'll see how to do through. We have star patterns, different star patterns, right? And then again, we'll see. I'll say to get you guys with a few more algorithms so that we'll be good to go. And then maybe from next week on Monday, we'll start with Java. Okay, we'll start with the installation part. And you guys tell me how many of you have laptops or PCs so to install and run programs.
I have laptop. Miss Sudha,
I
I
don't
have
know.
laptop.
Okay, yeah, just raise your hand so that there is a bit of disturbance. Whoever have the laptops and PC, just raise your hands. So Usma has it, Sudha, and then Roman. Okay, you two have it. Okay, so until next week, we'll see if others to join. If the class gets strengthened up, we'll add them also so that it will be better to start from next week. Okay, guys, let me share my screen. So this is where we stopped last class. Right? Yeah, let us quickly cover up the algorithm for Fibonacci series. And I hope you guys at least you have understood what a Fibonacci series is, right? How to print the Fibonacci series. You know the logic at least, right?
Yes, sir.
You start with 0 and then you have 1. 0 and 1 are default numbers. We'll have to have 0 and 1. Next, what we do, we add the previous two numbers, we write the third number. Again, we add the previous two numbers, we write the third number, right? So, and also let me correct one thing. From previous two classes, what we are writing are, it's a kind of pseudocode, okay? Because we have been introduced to syntax also, right? This proper Java syntax, and then initialization, declaration, all these are proper programming syntax. So let us not call this a pure algorithm. Okay, this is in between your algorithm and your proper code. So that we call that as pseudocode. Okay, PSEUCODE, pseudocode. Okay, so that's something between your algorithm and your proper complete program. Okay. So we'll be writing pseudocodes. These are all pseudocodes. Okay. A bit of algorithm and a bit of pseudocode. Intermediate part, not complete theoretical algorithm, not completely programmed. It's intermediate thing. Okay. So yeah, let's start with Fibonacci series. So what is our first requirement? What I'll do is I'll not write the complete algorithm. Okay, I'll only explain how we need to go ahead with this. Let us skip start, stop. The basic thing is first we need a input from the user. What input do we need from the user? We need input number, like how many numbers do I need to print? This is called a series, right? A continuous numbers, those are nothing but series. We call them as series. It can be like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. This is just a series of even numbers, right? This is called a series of even numbers. This is called the series of odd numbers, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. This is called series of odd numbers. So this is nothing but series. That is why we call it a Fibonacci series. Okay? So to print that, we need an input number. Let's say I give an input as 4. So at that time, my Fibonacci series will be
10112.
0112. If I give it as 6, then it would probably be 0 to 5. Okay, so we need that input. Okay, let us take input as num, variable as num. Okay, since we are continuing with number as input, we'll keep that as itself. So we'll continue with num. So we have input now. We have a number. Next thing, what I need to do, I need to loop through certain things, right? Before looping things, okay, as I told you, we have two default things, right? We have two default things, that is 0 and 1. And also, let me make one more thing clear here. See, for Fibonacci series, there is something called as recursion, recursive functions, recursive methods. Okay, so what algorithm we are writing now is not like too efficient one. It will take a bit of time, but there is something called as recursive functions. Okay, you can spend a bit of time on this thing also. Okay, try to see what a recursive function is. It's basically something that calls itself. A recursive function is a one which keeps calling itself. Okay, so if we go the Fibonacci series problem, we usually solve it using that recursive function. It makes code look simple. Okay, so now what we are doing is we are not using recursive function. So for that reason, we need 2-3 variables. We'll have a bit of like we need 2-3 variables here. So what I do, I'll declare a few variables. Let's call them as, since this is Fibonacci starting with F, let us have F1, F2, F3, and then num we already have there, right? So, and then we need one iterator. So for iterator, we'll take I as the iterator, okay? So yeah, let us have these as our variables, and let us declare or initiate, right? Let us initiate F12. So let me remove this keyword as declare. We'll just directly initiate things here. Initiate F1. So F1, the first value that we need, that needs to be printed always is
0.
0, right? So we'll declare F1 to 0. We'll declare F2 as 1. By default, whenever we start our algorithm, when we run our algorithm, by default, these two things should be printed. Okay, in the next steps, we'll write that. So first thing is you initiate F1 to 0, F2 to 3, and F3 let us not initiate, let it be as is, okay. Then let us initiate I2, okay. So what we'll do, let us initiate I2 1, okay. Now the second thing, we need a range, right? Until what range we need to repeat things. Our condition, basically it's our condition. So what our condition needs to be, guys? See, the first two things are always being printed. Let's say, to understand it, let's take an example of, I'm taking num as 5, right? Now by default, I'll be printing the first two numbers, that is 0 and 1. The remaining things are, what are the remaining three numbers? That is 1, 2, 3, right? The number which is present at index. See, when I take I as 1, I'll start 0 with 1. the index value of 0, okay, this will be I is equal to, so understand this guys, this will be I is equal to 1, okay, wherever we have 0, okay, that will be, I will be, to print 0, I will first will initiate I to 1. Next, I will be 2, second place. I will be 2 here. Okay. And third place, when we are coming here, I will be incremented to 3. So this way, it keeps incrementing. Okay. Just remember this, how I gets iterated, how we are shifting from one number to the other number. So what I am trying to tell you is, if my number is 5, I need to print first 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 1, 2, and 3. I need to print until 3. So when I'm talking about printing these 5 numbers, by default I'll be printing these 2, right? So I did not worry about this. I need not, mention that in my condition. If I start iterating from I is 1, then again I is 2. No, by default I'll print these 2 things. So what should my starting condition should be? That is what I'm trying to tell you. The condition, I'll have a range, I'll have starting index, I'll have an ending index, right? My start and end. So tell me what should be my start be. I've mentioned the indexes here also, right? So if I'm starting with I as 1, okay, so what should my starting index be?
Starting index 3.
Okay, not the starting index, like from where to, I have the starting index, right? I'll start from I is equal to 1. Until when should I continue that? See, to print 5 numbers, I'm already printing 2. Remaining are
3.
3. So if I'm taking number as 5, so it should be 5 minus 3.
3.
Right. Let's suppose I'm taking, okay, let me write this here. For this condition, my num value is 5. Yes. Let us build a formula for this. Okay. If I'm taking my num value, if I'm taking my num value as 5, then it will be 5 minus 3, right? From 5, I will remove 2. I'll separate these 2 things, so it will be 2. Why am I writing 2 here, guys? See, out of these 5,
Third
0
number
and
is 3.
1 is
I think.
already gone. 0 and 1 is already gone. So I'm eliminating these 2 things. 1
Yes.
and 1, that is 2. I'll eliminate these 2 iterations, 2 repetitions, because by default I'll be printing this. I need to only repeat my loop or my loop for 3 times. That will be these 3 to print 1,
Yes.
2, and 3. So for that reason I'm writing 2 here. Let's suppose my number is 6. So how many numbers will I be printing? 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, and until 5, right? I'll be
Yes.
printing these things.
Yes.
So by default, these 2 things are gone. I need to repeat my loop to 1,
4.
2, 3, 5. I need to repeat it for 4 times. So again, when I write 6 minus 2. So I get 4, right?
Yes.
4 times I'll be reporting. So basically, the condition is supposed to be, what is my 5 and what is my 6 here?
Num.
Num, right? And minus 2. Okay.
Yes.
So this will be my last index. Okay. The final condition until when my loop should be running.
Okay.
Okay. I'll start with I is equal to
1.
Condition will be start with I is equal to 1 until I is less
Num
than
minus
or equal to num minus 2.
num minus 2.
Okay, have equal to, okay, let's see. Let's start with I as 1. 0 and 1 is already printed. I is 1. 4 minus 2 is 2. Then 5 minus 2 is 3. Let us see. We will execute things. So we now get the now we got the condition, that is from where to where we need to run. We have the starting condition, we have the ending condition. So now what we'll do, first step, what we need to do, by default we need to print the first two things, right? So let's say I print F1, I print F2. Okay, these two things are done. I'm done with printing 0 and printing 1.
Yes.
My next step will be, I'll check condition. Okay, I'll check condition. While I is less than or equal to
Num.
num minus 2. We'll check this. Okay. If it is so, what I will do, okay, since we are not using recursive functions here, we need to perform these things. So until and unless this condition is true, that is I is less than or equal to num minus 2, what I will do, I have the third variable, that is F3, right?
Yes.
I have 0, I have 1. Now, what I need to do in Fibonacci series, I need to add the previous two numbers, right?
Yes.
To get the third number, I'm printing F1 and F2. Okay, let's say I'll write the output. Let us start writing the output here. Okay. According to our program or algorithm, our number is 5, 0, 1, and we have initiated things. We are printing F1 and F2. So I'll print 0, I'll print 1. Okay, don't worry about the spaces and all. Okay, this is just to understand. Okay, let us have, we are printing F1, F2. Next, we'll check I less than or equal to num minus 2. What is I? I is 1. What is num? Num is 5. 5 minus 2 is
3.
3. I is 1. 1 is less than 3. That is true.
True.
What I need to do to get this third number, what should I do? I have
Increment.
Right, I have this variable F3.
Yes. Increment I.
I need to add previous two numbers, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
So that is nothing but F1 and
F2.
I'm starting F1 as 0 and F2 as 1. So I will add F1 and F2.
F2. Okay.
So this will be F1 plus
F2.
So my F3 will be 0 plus 1. Okay, that will be
1.
Before printing, let us see. Okay, I have this now. Now let's say I print F3. Okay, so in my output, what I will do, I'll write this F3 is nothing but 0, 1. 0 plus 1 is 1. I print 1. This thing, this much is done. Now, what is the thing that I need to do? What else should I be doing now? I need to move from these two places.
Yes.
I cannot be the same. We need to move. My F1 and F2 should the second and the third thing, so that I can print 2. So I need to shift this from 0, 1 to 1 and 2. So how we do? What we do is, okay, in F1 position, what should I place?
F1 we need to place the F2.
F2, right? See, this is F1. Let me. Initially, this was F1, and initially this was F2. Now this is done. Now we need to shift it. I'll do this thing. Okay. You guys understanding this?
Yes,
I'll shift.
Yes.
So what did I do?
F1.
Whatever was in F2, I am putting that in F1. And this is what? This was nothing but our F3, right?
F3, yes.
This thought F3. So I'll put F3 in.
F2.
Okay, let me go one step back. I'll repeat again. See, this was how it is, right? It was, let me write this as F3. Okay, this was addition of F1 and F2, that is, we got F3. First iteration is done. Now I need to shift the pointers. I need to move from this first two. I'll only concentrate on these two so that I'll print the next number, right? So to do that, I need to shift the pointers from 0 to 1 to 1 and 1 only. So what I'll do, whatever was in F2, I'll place that in F1.
F1.
So how I do that is, I'll only write F1 is equal to F2. Okay. When you use this operator, okay, I'll put an OR here to make you understand. F1 will use this symbol. Okay. So what does that symbol? To make you understand what F1 is equal to F2 will do is, it will do this. You can understand the arrow, right?
Yes.
Your F2 value, arrow mark towards F1. That is, you're putting F2 in F1.
Yes. Okay.
Next, so this value will be in F1. Let me shift it. Okay. Now our F1 is here. F2 should also be shifted, right? F2 cannot be staying there.
Yes.
F2 should be
shifted to F3.
So F2 will be F3.
F3.
Or that is nothing but in F2,
F2.
you are placing F3. Whatever was in F3, you are putting that in F2. So F2 pointer has come here. We will forget 0 now. We will only concentrate on these
1.
Right. So now we have not yet printed F3 now. We are only at this place.
Yes.
1. Okay. Now to print F3, what should I do? I need to repeat the loop, right?
Yes.
I need to increment I.
F3 is equal.
I'll come back again. I'll perform this loop thing again. So before going out, I'll increment I. I is equal to
I plus plus.
I plus 1, or I'll simply write I plus plus.
I plus plus.
Okay. So we'll come out of the loop now. See, we will keep repeating things until and unless this condition satisfies.
Yes.
Whenever this condition is true, we'll do these many steps. Okay. After performing this, again we'll go back to this condition.
Yes.
Okay. Finally, when the condition is failing, we will just simply stop. We'll come out. We have nothing to do. Okay.
Yes.
We are printing F1, F2 here. We are printing F3 here. Right. Now,
Yes.
initially I was 1. Now I got incremented.
I is equal to 2.
I is 2 now.
2.
We'll see 2 less than or equal to num minus 5.
3. Yes.
2 less than or equal to num. Num is 5.
5 minus 3. 2 is equal to 3.
2. 2 less than, or it is not less than, but it is equal to 2. Right. And our numbers were 0, 1 and 2. I was 1. I became 2. 2 less than or equal to 5 minus 2. Okay, guys, 5 minus 2 is not 2. It's 3. This condition is true. Right. So what we do, we'll come inside the loop. First thing what we'll do, we'll put F1 and F2 into 3. We'll add F1 plus F2. What was F1?
Yes. F1, 1 plus 1.
1 plus 1. So that is F3.
F is F3.
We'll print F3 now.
F3 is 2.
Right. We'll print F3. See, why we are not printing F1 and F2? Because it's already done. We are not going back.
Yes.
We'll only be within this loop.
Well,
only first time we will print 0 and 1.
0 and
After that, we'll start our loop. So we'll
Yes.
not go outside our loop. We'll only be executing this part. Okay.
Okay.
And unless this condition is not failing, we'll keep doing this. Once it fails, we'll stop. So there is no reason, like there is no meaning in going back and again printing 0, 1.
Okay.
First time we do that and that's done. Okay. Now F3 is printed. F3 becomes 2. Next, I need to put whatever was in F2, I need to put that in F1.
F1. Yes.
This F2 I need to put in F1.
F1.
So I'll just simply
110.
do this.
Mm.
Okay. So whatever was in F2, 1 was in F2, I've put that in F1. It was like this. So we'll shift this number 1, will put it in F1. This 2 value, that is F3 value, we'll put in
F2.
That's it. Okay. F3 is not there. Just assume F3 is not there.
Yes.
When we come back to the next loop, next iteration, next repetition, at that time we'll add. Now we are just moving the pointers. So this 1 will become F1, this 2 will be put in F2.
Yes.
So because of that, I'm just changing things. Okay.
Okay.
Now we are done. F1 is F2.
We need to increment.
So in I was 2, I
Now
become
I is 3.
3.
Hey, good morning, sir.
I becomes 3.
We had a conversation on Saturday.
I becomes 3 now.
Shall we close?
Now again we'll come.
I
We'll
sent
see.
you the invoice copy.
I is less than or equal to minus 2.
It's equal.
It's equal, right?
Yes.
So since it is equal, I is 3 less than or equal to 5 minus 3.
5 minutes.
Okay.
5 minus 2.
5 minus 2, that is 3.
Right.
It is not less than or equal.
It's equal.
More.
Yeah, we had a conversation on Saturday. We have sent you.
Plus F2. What is F1?
F1 is 1.
1. F2 is 2. F2 is 2. We'll add
F2 is 3.
2 plus
2
1,
plus 1
3.
is 3.
We'll put that in F3 and we'll print that.
F3 is, yes, F3 is 3.
I'll be printing that here. Right. So now I have printed 3. Next, just shift. This 2 should be storing in F1. This 3 should
No
be
problem. We have a
in F2. That we are doing here. Okay, if this is confusing you, let us just use arrow marks. The arrow mark shows that you are putting this F2 value in F1, F3 value.
F2.
So I'll shift now. After doing these two things, our positioning, the pointers will be something like this. Your F1 will be pointing to 2, F2 will be pointing to 3.
3.
We'll increment I. I becomes 4.
4.
We'll see 4 is less than 5 minus 2, that is 3. No, 4 is
No.
not.
So
So
stop.
we'll just come out. So we'll stop. So finally, what
Yes.
was our series? It was 0, 1,
1,
2, and 3. How many?
5.
1, 2, 3. Total 5, right?
5.
So this works fine. So you can, take an example as whatever number you want. You can take number 6 or 7 or 8 and you can loop things.
Okay.
Basically, what we are doing is, this is what is important. Whatever we are performing inside this.
Increment I and
Initializing F1 and F2 and 0 to 1 because we need to print this. By default, we need to print 0 and 1. So we'll initiate 0 and 1. F3, let us keep it as is. We'll use it inside the loop. We'll start with
Yes, sir.
Yeah, guys, looks like there's some problem with my internet now. Okay. Yeah. So this is our algorithm, right?
Yeah,
So
Yes.
I was telling you like why we are using num minus 2 here, so that we'll iterate starting from the third position. We'll leave two numbers, we'll print only B. So because of which have we'll print until num, but we'll ignore 2. We'll less it by, we'll make it lesser than 2. 5 num 5 minus 2, that is repeat a loop for 3 times. So for that reason we are using num minus 2. First thing is whatever is in F1 and F2, you add those two things and put it in F3 and print F3. So first time, yes, I'm audible, right?
Yes, yes, sir.
Guys, I hope the screen is visible. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Got it.
We cover up finish the class within like 10-15 minutes. We'll finish up with the class. Looks like there is some problem with the internet issues. Yeah.
Okay.
We are done with this program. Any doubts, guys?
No, sir.
The only thing is you need to understand how things are going with, right? Printing these two things by default and then add the previous two numbers, get the third number. Again, shift the pointers. The shifting of pointers, we are doing it here. Right. The second number, we are putting it F1. The first thing, we are putting in. The third thing, we are putting in second. Right. The sum, this one, we are still storing it F2. This one, we will be storing it F1. That way, we'll be shifting pointers. See? If I give this to the beginning, first it was something like this, right? F1 was pointing to 0, F2 was pointing to 1. And first thing what we did, we printed F3 by adding F1 and F2. This became our F3. We printed all three things, 0, 1 and 2.
Yes, sir.
Now, next iteration when we go with increment I, so first we will add up F3, F1 plus F. Initially, given this one was not there. We only executed this step, F1, F2. We'll come with inside the loop. We'll add F1 and F2. Okay, we'll print F3. So F3 is also printed, that is 1. Next, what we do, in order to print next numbers, say, what I do, I'll put F2 in F1. So whatever was F2, that will become F1. Just like this. And whatever was in F3, that is 1, I'll point that to F3. So this will be our new pointers. Next, I'll increment things. I'll go back to the loop. When I start, again, F3 will be F1 plus F2. That is this 1 plus 1. That will be F3. Next, again, after printing this, I'll shift the pointers. Pointers are shifted. Now, F1 is 2, F2 is 3. I'll add these two. I'll store that in F3 and I'll print it. So that I'll print 5. Next, my condition will fail. When I try to go to the next iteration, the condition will fail. I'll come out and yes.
Yes, sir.
So in future classes, the same algorithm, but we'll try executing this by using recursive functions. Okay. see star patterns. We'll cover this assignment the third time and kindly try solving them. See, I'll only write the logic. Let us understand this. How many rows do we have, guys? First row, second row,
5 rows.
third row, fourth row, and then we have fifth. And in each row, how many stars do we have? Just help me out, guys. In the first row, how many stars do we have?
1.
We have only one star. In second, okay, I'll
5 columns, 5 rows.
let us see. We'll take I. Let's say I is equal to 1 here. Okay. And here the same. We'll see how I iterates. How is the relation? What is the relationship between the number of stars and the rows? So when I is 1, I'll be printing 1. Second row. Row 2. It is second row, every number of I. That is 3. So three stars. Next iteration. Whenever I is 4, we'll print what the pattern tells us. So basically there are rows and there are columns. So we'll use same. We'll take num as a variable to get the number of rows. For easy understanding, let us take row. Row as the keyword. So row is the variable. How many rows do we want to print?
5.
I tell 5. Input is 5. For our example, I'm taking row as 5. Then for printing patterns, guys, we need to use 2 loops, right? Because one row should be pointing towards the number of rows. One iterator. That is, if I take I, it will be pointing to my rows. When I is 1, we are in the first row. That means whenever I is 1, we are in the first row. When I is 2, we are in the second row. When the I is 3, we are in the third row. So for rows, we'll use one iterator. Right. So in the same loop, which is equal to, it should be less than or equal to my row. Right. I need 5 rows. So I'll start from 1. I'll go right away until 5. I'll keep incrementing this. If I use only one row or one loop, and if I print, what am I supposed to print? I'm supposed to print star. Let's say I'm supposed to print star. Guys, you understanding
Yes, sir.
Yes.
what I'm trying to tell you? We'll see if we write only one loop, what will be the output. Okay. So the output, let us see. We'll start from 1. I is 1. I is less than row. Row is 5. Is I 1 less than 5?
Yes.
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 So first, when we write I plus plus, what it does is, when you go to the next repetition, when you come back again, at that time it will increment. It will not instantly increment and it will give you. Okay. So if it means when you mention I plus plus, it does not mean like I is 1. So when it becomes I plus plus, that I becomes 2 and this will be 2. No. When we go back to the second loop, at that time I will increment. Okay. So I will be 1 itself. 1 is less than 5. You print star. Next, you come back to the second loop. I is incremented. I becomes 2. So output, let us mention output. So we are printing 1 star and a space. You look carefully here. I've left a space so that things should be clear. So 1 space I have left. Now again I is 2. 2 is less than 5. Our row is nothing but our row is 5. So second time I becomes 2. 2 less than 5. Yes.
Yes.
Print star. Okay. I print a star. Will leave some space. I becomes 3. I becomes 3. 3 is less than 5. Yes. Print a star. Next again I becomes 4. 4 is less than 5. Again print a star. 5 equal to 5. Print a star. See, we are printing the stars in one single line, but our desired output is we need it in multiple lines. So using one single loop, we cannot do that. Okay. If I use, instead of using print, say there are 2 print statements. One in Java, there is something called as println. That is, you print something and you go to the new line. You print something, you go to the new line. So when I use println, the output will be like, okay, no need of putting a space also here. If we use println, that is, we are going to new line. After printing, we'll go to new line. So what will be the output? First time I is 1, you print star. Second time, we'll go to new line. Okay. And then we'll print again 1 more star. Again, we'll go to next. Again, we'll print. When I is 4, again print. When I is 5, again print star. When I becomes 6, that is more than our row value, will come out. So this will be the output. And again, this is also not our desired output. Our desired output is something like this. So what I mean to say is, using one loop, we cannot perform. We need 2 loops. Okay. So when we are using this pattern, we use 2 loops. The first row will be for rows. Okay. We will keep I as it is. Okay. And we will use println itself. Now you saw, right? Using new line, you are printing something, you are going to the new line. So that means this will be for our row. Okay, the outer loop will be for our row. Next, we need to write one more inner loop. Within this row, what should I print and how many times? See, in the first row, I am printing only 1 time. Second row, I am printing things 2 times. So to print this 2 times and then again here to print 3 stars, to print 4 stars, we need 1 more loop. That will be the inner loop.
For
Okay.
columns,
Outer
1
loop
for is
is for rows.
1
Outer
for
loop,
for
outer
2 loops we are taking, 1 for
is for
4.
rows. Inner loop is print. 1 for the row, the other for the column, you can say.
Column. 1 for row, another is column.
Column, you can say. So let's say I'll use one more for condition. I will use J. Let's suppose I will use variable J. So J will be equal to I. Why I? Because I should start from whatever I value is, right? Okay, let me say not I. If I start with I, for first value I will be 1. I'll start with J as 1. But for when I go to next loop, I will be 2. So I will start with J as 2. I will not print this. I will print directly from here. So let us correct this. J should not be equal to I. J will be 1. We'll start from first. See, we are starting from first position. We are starting from first position. We are starting from first position. What should be our end position? Final condition. It should be I, right? Less than or equal to I. Correct?
J or less than or equal to
J should be less than or equal to
column. Oh, COL.
J plus plus. I'll explain you. See why I wrote this. J is 1. Okay, J is 1. J is less than or equal to I. J is equal to 1. Then yeah, print this. Let me write this. Within this, we'll print a star and we'll have a space. New line, we will not do it here. The second loop is to print these things. Okay, to print these 2 stars, this is the second loop. To print these 3 stars 3 times, we are executing this star. When I come out of this second loop and again go back to my first loop, what should I do? I should move to next line, right? This is for row. Once I'm done with first row, I should go to next row. So for that reason, I need to go to new line. To go to new line, we'll say go to new line, or simply you better get used to it. We'll do print ln, that is we'll go to new line, and here we'll use only print, that is stay in the same line. Okay. Your print statement, when I say this print, what it does is print and stay in same line. When I use print ln, what it does is will print and move to new line. Okay. So there are two different functions we'll use in our programming. One to print and stay in the same line, one to print and move to the next line. So for the inner loop, I need to stay here itself, right? Let's say I'm in the third row. To print 3 stars, until and unless I don't print these 3 stars, I should remain in the same line. For that reason, I will use print. Keep printing. Don't move to new line. Keep printing. Once you are done with the third row or second row or fourth row, then you move to new line, and again you start. So basically, this will be our pseudocode. Pseudocode. This will be our pseudocode. You guys understand? We are using 2 loops, guys. Okay, one loop we are using for number of rows. Okay, this will be for our number of rows. The second loop is to print the stars. You will understand this once I take an example. We'll take row. Row is getting confused. You can use that as number also. How many rows do you want to print? I say 5. Okay, I say 5. So for 5, I will start with my loop. Initially, I is equal to 1. I is less than or equal to row. So row is 5, right? I is 1. Is 1 less than 5? Hear me out carefully, guys. 1 less than 5. First iteration. Iteration 1. So in iteration 1, I is equal to 1. So 1 less than or equal to 5. True, right?
Yes, sir.
True. So if it is true, I will go down to next loop. In the second loop, what do I have? I have j is equal to 1. Okay.
Yes, sir.
See this carefully. J is equal to 1. Next, j less than or equal to I. J is 1 less than or equal to I. What is I? I is 1. Right? I is 1. So 1 less than or equal to 1. 1 is not less than, but it is equal to 1. So what I need to do, since this condition is true, print a star. So I will print 1 star. Let me just remove this. I'll print a star. Next, I need to increment j. See, we are still in this loop itself. Once this condition fails, we'll go back to our the parent loop, the outer loop. This is outer loop. This is inner loop. First, we'll get into the outer loop, and then we'll come inside inner loop. Until and unless this condition fails, we'll keep repeating this. We'll keep repeating this. Once condition fails, we'll go back to our for the outer loop. Once this thing fails, will come out of the program itself. Okay, this is how it will be. Now, first time I is 1 is less than 5, yes, it is true. Then come inside the second loop. Now, inside the inner loop, j, we are initiating it to 1, j less than or equal to 1, j is 1 is equal to 1, yes. So, print star and increment j. I will print star, I will increment j. J becomes 2. Now, check the condition. Is 2 less than or equal to 1? Is 2 less than or equal to 1, guys? No, right?
No,
2 is
no,
greater than 1. So what will I do?
no.
The
No.
control will come out of the for loop. It will go to the outer loop. It will come out of inner loop. It will go to outer loop. So in outer loop, I was 1. We need to increment I, right?
Increment.
I becomes 2
Yes.
now. And
2.
before doing that, we are printing. Correct. We are printing. That is, we are going to new line. Printed
Yes.
line.
Go.
So my control will go to new line. I will be here now. Now start with the outer loop. I is 2 now. In second iteration, I'll copy this. Just keep watching how our inner loop will work. In second iteration, I begin with I as 2. Now 2 is less than or equal to 5. This condition. 2 is less than or equal to 5. Yes, true.
Yes.
So then get inside the for loop. Again, j will start from 1. J is 1 and 1 less than I. I is
2.
2 is 1 less than or equal to 1 is less than 2, right? So it is true. What should I do? I should print star. I'm
Print
here
star.
in the second line, not in the first. So I'll print star. I'll have one space because I've left a space here. I'll have one space. Next, j becomes 2. Right? This j becomes incremented.
3.
J was 1. J becomes 2. So is 2 less than or equal to 2? It is not less than, but it is equal to 2. Yes, true. Then print a star. We are printing a star. Next, again, j becomes 3. Right? J becomes 3. This was true. J become 2 in our previous step. This is to make you understand. 2 less than or equal to no. This called false. Whenever it gets false, we'll go to next iteration. Now here similarly we have j is 3. So 3 is less than or equal to 2. Is it so? No, right?
Yes.
3 less than 2. No, is greater than 2.
Yeah.
So the condition fails. We'll come out of iteration 2. Right? So
then we
before
once again
we'll
we
come
go
out,
to
we'll go to new line. We'll go to new line, then we'll go to this. Again, we'll start. We'll start with third iteration. I becomes 3 now. I becomes 3. Is 3 less than or equal to 5? Yes, it is true. Start with j freshly you start with j. So j is 1. 1 is less than 2. Yes, it is true. Then you print star. Give a space. Next, j becomes incremented. J becomes 2. 2 less than, okay, I was 3, right? This you need to update. This will be 3. For inner loop, condition is j should be less than or equal to I. Here, 1 is less than 3. True, you print a star. Next, j incremented. 2 less than or equal to 3. True, you print a star. Again, increment j. 3 less than or equal to 3. Yes, it is true. It is not false. It is true. So again, you print a star. Next, when you go to next iteration, j becomes 4. J will be 4. So check if 4 is less than or equal to 3. Is it so? No.
False.
No, right? So this becomes false. So whenever it becomes false, you are coming out of the inner loop. We are coming out of this loop. We come out of this loop, we'll print a new line. That is, go to new line. Okay, we are in the new line. Then again go to the outer loop. That is, repeat the iteration. In previous step, I was 3. Now I should be incremented, right? So I will be 4 now. Iteration 4. I value is 4. Check if 4 is less than 5. Yes, it is true. So then go inside your inner loop. Keep repeating this until and unless the inner loop condition fails. That is this part. So this will be updated to 4, 4, 4, and then 4. Will come one by one. First will be here. Okay. So J is 1. 1 less than 4. Yes, true. Then print star. If true, then print.
Last one is maybe 4 less than or equal to 4. That is
Yeah.
become equals.
We'll update that. Okay. Don't worry.
Okay.
We'll update that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So 1 less than 4. Yes, we are printing a star. Next, increment J value. J becomes 2. 2 less than 4. Yes.
Yes.
Then you print a star. J is incremented. J becomes
Yes.
3. 3 less than 4. Yes, 3 is less than 4. Then what you do? You print a star. Next, J becomes 4. 4 less than or equal to 4. This will be true now, right? So since it is true, you print one more star. Next, J, you increment J.
J is equal to 5.
J is 5. So 5 is less than 4. Is it so? No, right?
No.
5 is greater than 4. So here, our inner loop
Yes.
condition will fail. This loop will fail. So we will not print this. We'll come outside the loop for better understanding. Let me put parentheses. Whatever will be within those parentheses, we'll perform that. For this particular loop, for outer loop, whatever is inside this brackets, we'll execute that. For this particular loop, whatever is inside those parentheses, that is we need to do in this part. So until and unless we keep repeating this, we'll be executing this statement. Once it is false, print a line. That is, go to new line. Now, again, next iteration. Okay, that is, in previous step, I was 4. Now, I becomes 5. I becomes 5. Is 5 less than 5? It is not less than, but it is equal to 5. So to print 5th row, it is true. Start with J as 1. We need to update this. This will be 5, 5, and 5, and 5, and 5. Okay. So let us see. First loop, first iteration for inner loop. J is 1, 1 less than 5, it is true. Then print star. Let me write that here. If it is true, print star.
Okay.
For your understanding, what we need to do if it is true. If it is false, print new line, right? If it is true, we do that. For your understanding, write this. When it is false, you do that. And when this fails, the iteration, that is I loop condition fails, will finish the program itself. Yeah. So 1 less than 5, it is true, print star. Okay, I have printed star. Next, J becomes incremented. If J keeps incrementing, J is 2. 2 less than 5, yes, print star. Next, J is 3. 3 less than 5, yes, it is true, print the star. Next, J becomes 4. 4 less than or equal to 5, true, print the star. Okay. Print the star. Next, again, J increments 5. 5 is not less than, but it is equal to 5. It is still true.
Star.
This is still true. We still need to print the star. So I will print a star. Next, J gets incremented. J was 5, J is 6 now. 6 less than or equal to 5. No, right? 6 is not greater than 5. So the condition fails.
But
I need to go to new line. Okay. Next, will I start with my iteration? Next iteration. Let us check that out.
Initially, we have given number 5. I think.
5, right? So
Yeah.
now I will be 6. In previous step, I was 5. Now I become 6. This condition, this particular condition. 6 less than or equal to 5. Is it so? No.
No, false.
Our outer loop, I'm talking about the outer loop. So that fails now. Finally, our outer loop fails. So when it fails, there is nothing to execute. We will just come out of this loop itself. We'll come out of the program. Okay, so we will not be doing anything, any of these things. When this fails, just stop. We'll stop. When you see the output, in our output, we'll get this. Okay. So this is how we, like step by step, you iterate things. Now, just tell me what is the difference between these two patterns? Okay. How can we modify our code for the second thing? How can we do that? Just see, just compare what we need to do. Whenever we are in the first row, we need to print 1. When we are in the second row, that is when I is 1, print 1. When I is 2, print 2, but print it 2 times. Right? When I is 3, that is we are in the third row, print same, that is I, that is 3, but 3 times. When we are in fourth row, that is I is 4, print 4, but 4 times. When I is 5, right, print 5, but print it 5 times. So we can modify our same code. What we'll do, okay, so there's no spaces for some time. What we'll do, we'll start with I as 1 itself. Yeah, I is 1, row is the same thing. If it is 5, we'll print till 5. If row is 6, input number is 6, we'll print until 6. That's okay. We need to modify this particular code. We'll start with J as 1. Guys, we'll finish the class. Just tell me, guys. I'm audible, right?
yes, no.
So sorry, guys. Okay. So yeah, tell me, guys. Just carefully look at the pattern carefully and tell me what should I be printing inside within the loop. Outer loop, we know that is it is only for this number of rows. When it is I is 1, we will be in this first row. When I is 2, we will be in second row. When I is 3, we will be in third row. When it is 4, we will be in fourth row. When it is 5, we will be in fifth row. That is outer loop is for rows. But in that particular row, what to print, that is stated in this inner loop. So tell me, what should I be printing? In previous thing, we needed star, we were printing star.
We need to print numbers.
What should I print? We need to print numbers. So what should it be? What should I print? Should I print I, or should I print J, or should I print row? What should it be?
Row.
See, if I print row, as you tell me, okay, so it will, let us see. I is 1. 1 is less than 5. Get inside. J is 1. J is less than 1. Yes. Print row. Row is 5. So my output will be, I'll print 5. Next, second time it won't do anything. It will go out of the for loop because j becomes 2. 2 is not less than 1. So it will go out. It will go, we'll move to second row. Then we'll again come inside. We'll again print row. We'll print row 2 times. Third time, we'll print row 3 times. Fourth time, we'll print same, because see, we are putting row is constant. Row is only, it doesn't change. So we'll keep on repeating. Repeatedly, we'll print this. Next, again 5, 5, 5, 5. Next time, row is this will fail. I will become 6, but row is 5. So we'll not print anything. This will be our output. See, we are printing 5, but it shouldn't be 5. We need to have it in this pattern. So I cannot print row. So what should it be? Can I print I? Let us check. If I print I, what will be the output? First row. I am in first row. 1 is less than 1. Yes, I'll print I. I was 1. Okay, here I is equal to 1. So since I'm printing I, that will be 1. Okay, in first row, I'll print only 1 number. Second row, I is 2. Okay, so j is 1. 1 less than 2. Yes, print I. I is, what is I? I is 2.
2.
Right. Next, again j will be incremented. 2 less than or equal to 2. Yes, it is 2. But I will print 2. I'll print 2 itself because I is same. 2 and 2. Next, I becomes 3. Third time, I becomes 3. Third row. So j will be 1. 1 less. I need to repeat this for 3 times. J is 1. 1 is less than 3. Yes. Print I. In third row, I is 3. I'll print 3. Next, j is 2. J is incremented from 1 to 2. 2 less than 3. Yes. Then again print 3. Next, j is incremented to 3. 3 less than or equal to 3. Again it is true. Print 3. Next, j becomes 4. 4 less than 3? No. You come out of this loop. You go back to outer loop. So in outer loop, you increment this. First you print, so that is go to new line, and going to new line is nothing but we are going to new row, next row, and I will be incremented. I will be 4. I hope, right? Using I is the correct thing for our this particular pattern. So I is 4. Start j with 1. J is 1. 1 less than 4. Yes, print I. I is 4. Next, j is 2. 2 less than 4. Print 4. Next, j less than 3. 3 less than 4. Print 4. Next, j becomes 4. 4 less than or equal to 4. It will be true. Next, j becomes 5. 5 less than 4. No. Go to new line. That is next row. Here, now this outer loop will be incremented. That is, I will be incremented. I becomes 5. So start again. Again, repeat things from starting. J is 1. 1 less than 5. Yes, true. What should I print? I should print I. I is 5. Next, j becomes 2. 2 less than I. Yes, 2 less than 5. Yes, true. Print 5. Next, j becomes 3. 3 less than 5. Yes, true. Print 5. Next, j becomes 4. 4 less than 5. True. Print 5. Next, j becomes 5. 5 is not less than, but it is equal to 5. Print 5. Next, I need to go to next loop. I becomes 6. Is 6 less than row? Row is 5.
No.
6 is not less than or equal to 4. So I need to stop here. I need not print anything. Come out of the loop. Finally, I will get this pattern as the output. When you execute this, okay, we'll get this. If my row value is 6, I'll have 6, 6, 6, 6. That is 6 times I will have 6 in the next row. You guys getting how the pattern is changing? Only what we did is, the only thing is we printed I. Instead of printing star, we printed I. Okay. So
Yes, sir.
next, last, here you check what's the difference. What is the difference? First
Sir,
row,
if
we
we-
are printing 1. We are printing I. We are printing 1. Next, 1 is incremented to 2. We are printing 2. Next, we are printing 3. Next, we are printing 4, then 5, then 6, 7, 8, 9. Then these two numbers, that is 10, then 11 and 12. For that, what we need to do is, we need to print J.
Mm.
Okay. Let us just see one example. How we do. When I is equal to 1, right? I is equal to 1. First row, that is first iteration, will come inside. J is 1. 1 is equal to 1. Yes, true. Then print J. So I will print 1. Next, J becomes 2. 2 less than 1? No. I need
No,
to go to
false.
second loop. So increment I becomes 2.
2.
I becomes 2. So J, now come inside the inner loop, keep repeating this. J is 1. 1 less than 2? Yes. Print J. J was 1. I'll print J. Next, 2. J is 2. 2 less than 1?
Yes.
Sorry, 2 less than 2? True. I is 2, right? 2 less than 2. True. So print 2. Increment increment J. It is 3. 3 not less than 2. No, come out. Go to next loop. So I becomes 3 here. Okay. So start again. Start again. J is 1. 1 less than 3? Yes. Print J. J will be 1. But according to our program, what did we want? Okay. So according to our program, this itself is wrong. We wanted 2 and 3 here, right?
Mm.
So for that, how we can alter thing is, instead of repeatedly making J as 1, see, whenever we are coming to new line, we were making J as 1, right? J was 1, J was 1, everywhere J was 1. When you go to new loop, you were making J as 1. What we'll do, here we'll make one slight change. Instead of doing it to 1, we'll do it to I. Let us see if this works. For J is equal to I. So J is 1. J is equal to I. J is 1. 1 is equal to 1. Yes, print 1. This will also fail. Okay. So somehow we need to make this, so that we'll keep, then the count keeps increasing. The count keeps increasing. We can have this as 1 also. Somehow we need to have one counter. We'll declare one counter. Initially that will be 0. We can do this. We'll have one counter that will be 0 initially. Here what we'll do count plus plus. Okay. Matlab, whenever you do, you increment count and you print that. Okay, let's see. I is equal to 1. Okay, so we are in the first row. J is 1. 1 is equal to 1. Yes. Print counter. That is, count was 0. You add 1 to it. Count is equal to 0 plus 1. That will be 1. Okay. Now count is 1. You go back to J is equal to 2. 2 less than 1? No. Come out. Go to next loop. I becomes 2. When I is 2, you check this. J is 1. J less than 1? Yes. But print, what we'll do, we'll increment whatever it was previously, we'll increment it by 1. Previously it was 1. We'll increment it to 2. This is not there yet. Okay, this is not there and this is also not there. We have done this. Next, J is 2. 2 less than 2. Yes. Just keep in mind, like in first row, we need to print only one number. In second row, we need to print 2 numbers. So what will be the next number? Since we are doing count plus plus, count was 2 previously. Now it will be 3. We'll only print 2 numbers. Next, we'll go to next row because the condition will fail. This will fail. So we'll go to next row. I becomes 3. I need to print 3 numbers here, right? So first number will be, I will increment count. That is, previously it was 3. So now it becomes 4. Next increment it again, it becomes 5. Next increment again, it becomes 6. Then you go to next row. This way, like we'll iterate.
Four.
It will be 4. Previously it was 6. Counter value, it was previously 6. Now it
Increases.
becomes, it increases.
7, 8, 9.
It becomes 7 plus 1, 8 plus 1, 9.
9.
Again plus, it becomes 10. Next I becomes 5. I becomes 5. So previously it was 11. Counter was 11. 10. It becomes 11. Becomes 12. 13. Slightly we need to change our pattern. 14. Then it will be 15. It will be something like this. Okay. This pattern needs to be slightly updated. Okay, guys. So see, this session is always, it's already recorded. If somehow you have not understood things or have gone through too fast, okay, tomorrow one day we'll take a break. Okay, in every week we'll have 3 days. Every alternate day we'll have a class, evening classes. Okay.
Okay.
And I won't be able to take continuously all 6 days. Okay. So for that reason, every alternate day we'll have a session. What you can do is, whatever we cover in this particular current session, tomorrow one day you take a break and go through the video. The video will be uploaded in the YouTube channel. Okay. So you go through it. Even though if you don't understand it, you go check in YouTube, you refer to some other videos and see if that helps out. The thing is, finally, at the final thing, like by the end of the day, you should be able to understand what topics we have covered. That should be clear to you guys. Okay. Even after referring YouTube videos, you don't get it. Then before starting the next session, you can ask your queries and we'll clarify that. Okay. Let this be the process. Now, whatever we covered in today's class, okay, if you have not understood it, or some part you understood and some part you did not, tomorrow, whenever the video will be uploaded in the channel, go through it once again. Okay, go through it once again. Even then you don't get it, you refer to some other YouTube videos. If you print patterns, algorithms for patterns or programs in Java for patterns, you will get n number of videos. You refer to them. You try to understand how things are getting. Like it's nothing but these iterations. They will also explain these things itself. So see how it is working, how you understand the patterns, how you need to slightly alter the program so that you get different patterns. Everything is same. Only you are just changing this what you need to print. So that way you will get an understanding. And I know that for most of the people you have not got like what is inner, what is outer loop, what is inner loop. We are using two loops. Until what condition will be inside the inner loop, then going out of for loop. So one time you will not understand this. Again, you go and watch the video. Once you watch it for two to 3 times, you will get an idea. Oh, okay, this is what is happening. Okay, we'll be we'll be printing this until and unless the inner loop condition will fail. Okay, just keep this in mind. We'll keep printing these things. That is, we'll keep printing I or we'll keep printing star until and unless this inner loop condition fails. Once this fails, we'll go back to the for loop, the outer loop. Once the condition of the outer loop fails, we'll go back. We'll just stop the program. Okay. So you do that thing. Tomorrow, one day, we'll take a break. You can go through the videos, clarify things, make things clear. And if you have any queries, you make a note of it. Tomorrow is Tuesday, is it? Tomorrow is Tuesday. So Wednesday, when we again come back, you can clarify the doubts, whatever you have. Okay, guys? And sorry for today's disturbance. Okay, there was some problem, issue with my internet.
It's okay,
I
sir.
had 3 times. Okay. Next time, let us see. I'll make sure you don't get that thing. Okay. Is it clear? Can we end this session?
Yes,
too
yes.
late. Sorry for
Thank
that.
you.
Okay, guys. Okay, then take care. Let's meet on
Thank you.
Wednesday.
Yes.
Thank you, Adnan.